In this video, we're going to have a quick view of the Control Panel touchscreen model. We call this button the Embroidery Mode, and here you can turn it on or turn it off. To turn it on, you press the button and then press Enter to confirm it. You will see that the X will disappear from the button. That means that the Embroidery Mode is on. To turn it off, repeat the process. Press the button and then press Enter to confirm. You will see that the X will appear on the button. That means your embroidery mode is off. We call this button needle selection. If you want to move the sewing head to any particular needle, press the needle selection button. Then select the needle number you wish the sewing head to move. To go back to the menu, press the Exit button, and it will return to the main window. This is the Memory Recall button, and becomes available when the embroidery mode is off. This button will allow you to select designs stored on machine's memory. By pressing the Design Recall button, all designs stored on memory will display on screen. Select the design you wish to embroider and then press Enter. This is the Hoop Selector button and becomes available when the embroidery mode is off. In here, you can select different sizes of hoop, as well as you can center automatically the pantograph. Pressing the Hoop Selector button, different hoop options will display. Each letter will represent different size of hoops, starting from the big hoops to the smallest. And when you select a hoop, the pantograph automatically will center, and it will establish limits in order to avoid hitting the hoop. This is the Design Setting button, and becomes available when the embroidery mode is off. In here, you will be able to rotate, resize, or compensate the satin of the design. By pressing the Design Setting button, it will take you to those functions. In here, whereas you can rotate, in these two you can resize by a percentage. Or in here, you can compensate satin stitch to the design. After you have submitted the values, press Enter, and it will take you to the main window. This is the Main Menu button. By pressing this button, it will display 16 options, of which 3 are going to be the most frequently used. The first one is the USB button. By pressing the USB button, the machine will read the USB thumb drive and will display on screen all the designs saved on the memory stick. Tap the design you wish to transfer from the USB thumb drive into the machine's memory, and then press Enter. The USB thumb drive will transfer the design into the machine's memory. The second function is Design Recall button. By pressing this button will allow you to recall any design saved on machine's memory. The third function is Machine Settings. And here you can set up many machine settings such as jump to trim, length after trim, auto set start, auto back start, color motor speed, max speed, thread break sensors, and many others. We highly recommend not to change these settings until you contact technical support. When you turn your embroidery mode on, a different menu will display on screen. And this is how it looks after you turn on the embroidery mode. These 3 buttons remains the same. This is the color sequence button and becomes available when the embroidery mode is on. By pressing this button, it will take you to the color sequence screen. In here, you're going to be able to set up the color sequence accordingly with your design. After you have successfully set up the color sequence, press Enter and then press Exit, and it will take you to the main window. This button is Auto Manual Color Change. And here you can set up your machine as Semi-Automatic Color Change, Completely Manual Color Change, or Automatically Color Change. If you set up your machine as a semi-automatic color change, the machine will go to the next color and will stop. It will be required to press the Start button to continue. This function is normally used on applique projects. If you set up your machine on manual color change, the machine will stop every time the machine detects a color change. You will be required to manually set up the next color you wish to sew. We highly recommend to leave the machine and automatically color change for daily operation. This is the forward-backwards button. This function will allow you to go forward or backwards without sewing. By pressing the button once, and then press the green button, the machine will go forward without sewing. This is very useful when you want to skip some stitches. By pressing the red button, the machine will go backwards, and it's perfect when you want to recover some stitches. Press the button until you got 2 arrows, then the green button. The design will go forward without the movement of the pantograph. Press the stop button, and the pantograph will move to where the design has been stopped. You can move the design backwards by pressing the red button instead of the green button. Press the button until the up and down arrows appear for regular operation. This is the float button and becomes available when the embroidery mode is on. In here, you can go backwards or forward on your design by stitch count or by color. Press the float button and it will give you the options. For example, if you want to skip 1,000 stitches on your design, press this button. Then input 1,000 stitches and then press Enter. If you want to go forward by color, press this button. In order to go backwards, press the minus key. Then press Exit and it will take you to the main window. This is the Org button, and here you can set up your starting point and you can trace your designs. When you press the Org button, it will display a new menu. 3 of the 6 buttons are going to be the most frequently used. The first button is this one, and here you can set up the starting point. The second button is this one, and here you can trace your design. And the third one is this one, and here you can cancel the design anytime and return to the center position.